Hey man,
Hello.
how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Finally got further in this. Basically, and it's a game on Roblox called Flood Escape 2, and I finally got further in a map called Yatagarasu.
Oh,
I'm doing pretty
nice.
good.
Very epic. Very epic. Also, sorry if I'm a little bit like low energy right now. I just woke up.
Oh, you're fine.
Oh,
Happens to the best of us.
yeah. Indeed.
Guess I'll start. When did you first hear about FNAF?
When I was like, you know, little baby when it first came out, I was 13 when Five Nights at Freddy's first came out, and then I played it in high school. My friend was like, "Yo, check out this sick horror game," and I was like, "Oh, okay, let's mess around with it." And then we all got addicted to it. So it was quite a it was quite a monumental moment for our friend group.
I first, like I said on the Frogger interview, I heard of it from my cousin who was absolutely obsessed with the game.
Oh, nice.
He had this like Freddy flashlight thing. He had the FNAF poster in his room. He had so many of the plushies. It was ridiculous.
Nice. No, we probably played it. My friend gave it to me like probably I don't know like 2 days after it came out. I think because it was the demo we played. We played the demo first up.
Nice.
So it was pretty epic, and then we ended up grinding. We had like a competition at school of who could be the first person to beat 420 mode.
Sounds awesome.
It was epic. I won.
Alright, sorry if I butcher your name, but where did the name Jerakaigamez come from?
Oh, that's you've said it right. I've heard people say Jerakaigamez, which
Let's
is
go!
um. So it's interesting. So Jerikai came from what like when I was a wee little baby and like the pre-existing phase. My parents were like, okay, if it's a girl, we're gonna call it this. I forget what the name was if it was a girl, but if it's a boy, it's gonna be Jerikai. But then my grandmother kept calling me Jerry Can. So they gave me my actual real name, and when I found out, I was pissed because I liked the name Jerikai. So when it came time to naming my YouTube channel and come up with a name for it, I thought, oh, Jerikai, that's perfect. And so I was Jerikai for a while, and Jerakaigamez came from just my friends. Like, I would join like, we'd play Minecraft or join a VC or, anything, and they'd go, oh my god, is that the Jerakaigamez? And I'm like, it's just Jerikai. And they're like, no, it's Jerakaigamez. And it's just stuck. And then, that's just what I went, screw it, Jerakaigamez is what I'm known for. That's what everyone calls me. I might as well just call the channel that. There's no harm in it.
Mine, I think I was 8 when, when my dad said, hey, do you wanna make a YouTube channel? And at the time, like, way before that, I loved making, like, videos. I didn't, like, of course, post it because I didn't have, like, a channel. But I loved recording videos and stuff. There's this one video where I was, like, 5, and I was playing with these two, like, transforming toy things.
Yeah, that's like, I get that. I remember my dad got me, like, an iPad and, like, just forced me to use iMovie.
Hold on. And anyways, I was just trying to think of a name, and I just thought of these two random words and put it together, and then my channel's name used to be Tryfly the Puppet because it was gonna be a FNAF channel like originally.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that changed. I mean, of course I'm doing like challenges now, but like.
Yeah, awesome.
It used to be just like a GD channel.
Oh yeah. Because I kind of like blue corn. That's kind of unique.
That one came from basically I'm in this server with another streamer. He's not very popular, but I found him and I joined his server, and I was at a LAN party.
Oh yeah.
And there was a bag of blue corn tortilla chips, and I posted that.
Oh, yeah.
I sent a picture of me holding the chip to my cousin, because I was trying to jokingly say, I have that one chip thing. And then,
Oh yeah.
And then he said, it's blue corn tortilla chips, and then I sent a picture of the chip bag, and then for some reason I decided to post that same picture into the streamer's server, and I don't know why, but everybody started freaking out and started spamming blue corn in all caps. So that's where that came from.
I mean, sounds like a blessing in disguise if you ask me.
I think people still might do it. I don't even know. Yeah, that's where that came from.
Very epic.
I guess next question, what is your favorite FNAF game?
Ooh. It's changed so much. If you had to ask me, like, 2 weeks ago, I would have said Final Fantasy 4 easily, but I've recently done a challenge with it, which is coming out soon, which has made me just hate the game. Just because the jump scares have been really bugging me. But I still think FNAF 4 is one of my favorites. Either that, Ultimate Custom Night's a pretty good one too. At least for official games, I'd say. But if I'm being completely honest, the game I have the most fun with is probably Security Breach. I don't know. I know it's a terrible game. I know that the game is like broken. It's just so much fun to break. It's just so much fun to mess around with. I just love all the quirks. Even when like things don't go according to plan, I just find it really funny. It's probably the only Final Fantasy game that I generally have like fun playing, and that I would like actually play like outside of, you know, like YouTube, just because of how fun it is.
I have basic answer, FNAF 1. I don't know, I just...
Nice.
FNAF 1, I just feel like I like that a lot more than all the others.
FNAF 1's in my top 3, but like, I think I've just... Because obviously, again, I played it when the game first came out, so like, I think my ability to like have any new experience with the game is just like, you know, non-existent anymore, because I've basically played that game to death.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's a...
No, go ahead.
There you go. I was just gonna add on to that, but it's fine.
Okay. What is your favorite FNAF fan game?
Oh, honestly, right now, Juniors, 100% Juniors. I did the challenge for it recently. I played it once before, and I wasn't really a big fan of it because like I hadn't really like, you know, I had to obviously grind a bit for friends and learn how to play it. But now I'm just like addicted to it. Now I just love like, I've been playing it like casually. It's just such a fun game. I would have said the Glitz Attraction recently, but I think Juniors is my favorite at the moment. It's just got this like, you know, it's got a lot of replayability because it's not the same thing over and over again. It could be like, I mean, it is the same thing over and over again, but it's like, it could be a different person like each time. The way you find them out could be different. It's a challenge, especially with like the custom night modes. It's been like a ton of fun to just like casually mess around with the custom night modes and see what like happens.
What's funny is I actually really liked the soundtrack for Juniors, and then years later,
yeah.
I found a YouTuber in the name of 3FS, and it turned out they were the people. They made the soundtrack.
Nice.
That was pretty neat to know. I still watch him to this day. One of my favorite YouTubers.
Oh, nice. I haven't really heard of him, actually. I mean, I've heard the name, but I don't really know who they are.
Besides that, it's probably Bones.
Oh, yeah, Bones is pretty good.
Alright, I guess. What's the hardest challenge you've done? Doesn't have to be FNAF.
Ooh, that I've actually completed, or like that I'm in the process of working on, because I've got a couple of them in the process of working on that are really difficult.
Depending on, I mean, I guess, like, if you consider your progress, like, harder than beating the other challenge, I guess, maybe.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, obviously, No Mask was hard in terms of a challenge that I've actually uploaded on the channel, because it's impossible, but it took for, like, a lot of attempts. But the one that I'm doing right now, that it's taking the absolute toll on me, is Quota 10 Brutal Company. That is 100% just... It's, like, Quota 10 Lethal Company is really difficult, but Quota 10 Brutal Company is, like, Brutal Company is basically just like a mod that makes Lethal Company like 100 times harder. It causes like it's I would have to say I had to modify them the mod to make it possible, just because like there's a couple of them that just instantly kill you, and it's like you can't get to Quota 10 if you just die like every 4th game. Just it will not happen. So you have to I had to make a couple of adjustments, but even still, it's like ridiculously hard. Like I think my max I've gotten to is Quota 5, and that was like, you know, getting really lucky and getting like a ton of like really chill events. But even then, I've just been getting like absolutely just everything has been killing me. And I mean, it's gonna make a great intro montage, but I'm imagining it's gonna take me a couple of months to beat this. It's just ridiculously hard. It's like not even close. Like most attempts just end on the first day with me just like spawning on assurance, jumping off the rock, getting a couple of little loot, having to fight past 20 giants, getting eaten instantly, and then having to restart. It's just, that's basically my life for the last week, and I just don't think it's gonna get any easier.
Brutal Company also breaks a couple of mods when I was playing around with it, because I had like a good group of friends, and we basically that same streamer that I was talking about made a mod for me that changed the Jester's music to another OST of like an FE2 fan game.
Oh yeah.
And basically we went down onto a custom planet. I think it's called Cast or something.
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
And there were like 1 million dogs, and that mod broke. And for the low growling sound that they make, like when they're like moving around and they don't see you, it broke, and that started playing. Every sound that the dog made, it played that. And with the distortion of the sounds...
Oh no. God, I remember we played, it was the PETA one where there's like the 1 million dogs, but we had the Skinwalker one on where like it like mimics what your friends have said, and some of my friends, to say the least, obviously we're all Australian, so we're very, very thick like Australian bogan, like lots of swearing, lots of like typical Aussie phrases, and the dogs would just start screaming what my friends had been screaming, and it was the funniest thing, having all these dogs like basically coming after you, like typical Aussies swearing at you, to the point where it was just like you couldn't tell if it was like your friends screaming getting away from the dogs or the dogs screaming after you. It was the funniest thing I think I've ever experienced.
I've also had a bunch of funny moments with the Skinwalker mod.
So good.
I was like trapped between a thumper and a spider. The thumper broke and it was stuck, and the thumper and the spider started communicating, and I went on the walkie-talkie and told one of the people to like, come help me or something. And he came into the building. The room I was in was just to the right of the entrance, and there was the jumping, the part where you have to jump, right, like, blocking it, and the spider was on it. And
Oh, yeah.
he came in, and he started talking to me for a couple seconds, and he just said, the spider just spoke. And the spider, in reply, with his voice, said, nope.
Oh god, it's such a fun mod. I mean, I love the me and my friends love the Angry British Yippee Bug mod. We think that's the funniest one, and every time we do it, we make sure to up the chances of them spawning. So you get like, we've had like 100 of them, like just in like massive groups, and then it's all like all the audio has synced up with that Angry British mod, and it's just the best. It's so good, but. You know, obviously, now that I'm doing hard challenge, I'm not allowed to have fun anymore. I have to have pain, because Brutal Company's hard on its own. But like when you're doing it solo, that's where it gets like way more difficult, because you just like, there's no chance of, oh, well, my friend can just take off and save the loot. No, if you die, it's all over.
Guess I'm gonna continue to the next question. Who's your favorite content creator?
Ooh, myself. No, I'm joking. There's a couple that I've been liking. Obviously, it changes. I don't really have any content creators that I like have always been huge fans of. My favorite content creator. Right now would be Ashel Spiff. He's been the one that I've been watching just non-stop for a while. There's just something about his content that just does it for me. Like, he does some really cool challenges. He's the way, you know, he's got that, it's like a combination between like, you know, the scripted stuff and the, you know, like just chill vibe. Like, it's not, you know, I don't like extremely highly edited stuff to the point where like there's just so many cuts and so many special effects and so many things. Like, he's kind of got like the simplistic editing that I've liked from like older YouTubers, but like he's got like the more modern, you know, ideas. It's not just him playing a game, it's him playing a game with a twist or whatever it is. And he's probably my favorite YouTuber at the moment, I would say, or favorite content creator.
Yeah, Spiff's good. Spiff's a good, I can't speak. Spiff is a good content creator.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also a big OG. Like, my old YouTuber, if I had to think of every YouTuber that I've ever watched, I would probably say Technoblade is one of the few that I think was, like, that was probably my inspiration for, like, starting to do YouTube, was Technoblade, just because I was kind of like, why not? This guy funny.
I guess I'll go to the next one to, do you stress about YouTube?
Oh god, yeah. All the time. It's like, I mean, I'm a big, like, I'm the type of person where, like, if I want to do something, I'm gonna just fully commit to it. I'm not like someone who likes to, like, you know, just half do something. I'm not gonna just like, you know, when I started doing YouTube, I, like, obviously, you know, I think every single person when they first start YouTube doesn't really take it super seriously until they start getting success. I, like, immediately started taking it, like, way too seriously. Like, made it my entire personality that I was a YouTuber. All my friends were like, what are you doing? But yeah, I definitely stress about YouTube all the time. I'm always like checking analytics, I'm always checking trends, I'm always checking to see if, you know, I'm definitely, like, when it comes to, like, content now, I used to be such a, like, I used to be so scared that my content wasn't good, so I used to, like, get everyone to look at it and go, dude, what do you think of this video? And he's like, dude, like, it's fine, like, stop stressing. But nowadays it's a lot easier because I've got a group of people that, like, I can send my stuff to and go, hey, what do you think of this? And they'll say, this is really good, or this is really bad, and then, like, I can take that like honest feedback and like, you know, work in ways that work. And obviously I'm now at a point now where I'm, you know, I view, you know, everything as an inevitability, and there's very few things that I can mess up. I mean, the only thing recently is that I've just started doing YouTube full time, so like this added stresses now of if this fails, I'm out of work and I have to go get an actual job, and I think that's the scariest part. Just I know that sounds so like Gen Z, like, oh, I have to go get a real job, like boo-hoo, but like I've had so much fun doing YouTube that like if I ever had to go back to doing like, you know, McDonald's or something like that, it'd just be the most depressing experience. And I generally don't know what I would do. Like, I don't know if I'd have any passion to do anything.
Probably the most I've been stressed about YouTube is either the Puppet Master All Challenges thing or Zodiac and GD.
Oh yeah.
Zodiac I was really good at it and stuff, and just one day I started losing consistency like crazy. And of course I already had 52 and I wanted to continue and finish it, but I mean, you can't do it if you don't have the skill to do it anymore.
Yeah, that's fair.
And with the Puppet Master All Challenges thing, I got to like 3 a.m. and for the weekend, I like went to like a hotel or resort, and when I posted the video, of course, I was like, when I was down there, I looked at the comments, and I think it was Jex that said, "Hey, you should try the new version. It's way easier." And I'm like, "How is it easier?" And then I go check the game jolt, and it says that laser pointer was nerfed to be only a visual buff. So the hitbox, the half hitbox thing is no longer a thing. And what they did with Vinny to like, I guess kind of like make up for that, they made the kill time like 0.25. I meant not 0.25, that's really low. 1.25 for 12 and 1 to 0.75 the whole entire night.
Oh,
and
nice.
I could not get past 12 a.m. at all.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, I was making like a video of Puppet Master All Challenges already before I beat it, and it was actually really good. Like, it was one of the best videos I've made.
Nice.
And just knowing that I can't do it anymore, and that video's just doesn't. There's no point in it. It sucked.
Yeah. I think the biggest stress I've ever had over a video would be, like, remember like one of my first early successful, like when I was like really kind of like when I was smaller, you know, like under 1,000 subscribers, and I was trying to like push out content. I was thinking of like videos to do, and I had decided to do ranking every Five Nights at Freddy's jump scare because that had never really been done at the time. Like, it had been done, but it was just like tier lists, and obviously tier lists it's very easy to make a tier list video because like you don't have to sit there and think about your ranking. You don't have to actually like, you know, think about, okay, is like which one's actually better of like these two. It's like, no, like you just put it on a tier list, and this is S tier, S tier, S tier, S tier. And then, like, by the end, you can, like, change it around if you really want to, but most people don't. They always say, I'll change it up later, but they never do. But, like, no one had ever done, like, a definitive, like, Watch Mojo, like, number 10, like, number 9. Like, no one had done that. So I thought, alright, this is an opportunity. I think this will do well. And so I had to, you know, I spent so long on that video, and then I edited the whole thing, and then my entire software crashed, and I lost everything. And I was just like, is it worth it? Is this a bad omen? Like, if I just spent like, you know, like 24 hours working on this video for it to just like fail, like, was this not worth it? But then I like decided, you know what, screw it. I've got it all there. I might as well finish it. If I don't fully do it, there's no point. And so I ended up doing it. But that was like probably the most stressful I've ever had on an actual video, which is surprising considering I've done like challenge videos that have made me want to bash my head in or anything like that. It's me ranking like 100 people that have caused me the most stress on a video. But I think that's just because like there's so many parts to the video that you can just like mess it up. You know, you could put the wrong clip with the wrong character and you just look like an idiot when the video comes out.
Yeah, I've also, I guess for like a video, I was exporting the Bones interview video, and because I had like a moving background in the back, I don't know why, but Filmora hated that, and it took this long to finally export, and basically like at like near like 6 hours and like 20 minutes I must have like fell asleep, and then I woke up and I saw that it was at like 99, and the elapsed time and the time remaining stayed still. It didn't change, and I started freaking out because it's already been like 6 hours and 20 minutes. And the whole time I never noticed that the pause button was pressed somehow.
Oh, jeez. I've got no experience with Filmora, so I wouldn't be able to comment on that, but...
Yeah. I mean, at least it didn't actually just freeze up. That would have been terrible.
Yeah, I actually watched that interview before, like, last night, because I was like... Obviously, I was, like, seeing, okay, what kind of interviewer am I going to be in, like, you know, is this going to be, like, one of those interviews where you're going to be like, so tell me all your personal secrets, and it's like, I was just... I wanted to get like a bit of like a, you know, a sub first. I watched that interview. It was quite cool actually. I actually quite enjoyed it.
I'm glad that it was worth 6 hours and 50 minutes.
Yeah.
YouTube took like what, less than 5 minutes to go through it. I don't know what was wrong with Filmora.
Yeah.
And that's why for the Frogger interview, it was just a still image of the thumbnail.
I mean, yeah, fair enough.
I guess I will go on. Have you had any like issues with YouTube? Not like posting a video and stuff like what you're just talking about, but like, has YouTube ever like gotten in your way or stuff like, you got this taken down, or this is not allowed, or something like that?
Well, besides the basic copyright stuff, like, what's the word? Like, the menu screens, like, for all, like, when I did the marathons, like, I couldn't make money off the marathons because, like, it was copyrighted, which was stupid. Besides music copyright, I've never really had like an issue with YouTube. The only thing that I've ever had happen with YouTube where I was like genuinely getting pissed off at YouTube was my monetization letter. I don't know if it's because I'm Australian, but the letter was just not sending. So like, obviously for those who don't know, when you get monetized, you have to do your whole thing, and then like YouTube will then send you a letter to your address to verify your address, and then that address will give you a PIN, and you put that PIN in to verify your address, and then from there they'll start sending you money. But that letter just was not arriving, and I could not figure out why it wasn't arriving. Like, I got monetized like I think like late, like November 2023. But I didn't get my letter until March of 2024. So for the longest time, I was sitting there watching like money build up in my bank account, and I'm like, for God's sake, just give me the money so I can transfer it, for God's sake. Like, give me the letter. And it took forever for it to, I like had to appeal it like 5 times. And eventually I figured out what was wrong. And it was the stupidest thing. It was basically what had happened was my YouTube email was the email that obviously is connected to my, my YouTube. But my AdSense was connected to some other email, which was, I had no idea how it happened because I put through the same email. I'd never ever messed around with another email, but apparently it had like just or decided, no, this is the email we're going to use. So once I figured that out, I did it again. Like I peeled the thing again, like, can I have my letter? And, eventually it came. But besides that, YouTube's been pretty good to me. Like I've never had any issues with YouTube in terms of like having things taken down or having things. I've heard more bad stories from other people, but for the most part, I've had a really good experience with YouTube. Just the monetization letter was the only thing, which I think is more AdSense rather than YouTube itself. So like, I guess YouTube's done nothing wrong.
Alright. Yeah, I haven't had anything like wrong that happened with YouTube, besides this one time that when I was first coming back to GD, I uploaded a video called Cupid Circle 0 to 7%. And I don't know why, but YouTube put an age restriction in it. I don't know why.
No, I've not had age restriction. I have not had a video age restricted yet, which is really funny because I've definitely made content that's worthy of being age restricted. Like, I mean, some of my older videos are so unfiltered and they're so like, it's just a bunch of like, that was I don't know, like a couple of like, 20-year-old like Australians getting drunk and then playing Minecraft does not make family-friendly content. And somehow those videos never got like age restricted, demonetized, like nothing. And it was just like, what? What is this? This is a scam.
Alright, I guess I'm gonna continue again. What is your favorite game, not FNAF?
Lethal Company. That's really easy. Obviously the quota 10 Brutal Company is like not just because I want to hurt myself physically and mentally, it's because I actually generally enjoy Lethal Company, especially solo. I'm like probably the only person on the planet who actually enjoys playing Lethal Company solo. Maybe just because I'm insane, but I don't know, something about that game just really, really sticks out to me. And like, this may be a shock for a gaming channel, but I'm not a big gamer. Like, I'm not a huge fan of like loading up games and playing. Like, I obviously right now I'm obsessed with YouTube, so for me it's like I much prefer, if I'm gonna play a game, it's always for video. It's always for something. But Lethal Company is like the one game besides like Minecraft, because obviously, I'm not going to make a video on Minecraft, but like Lethal Company is like the one game that I could make videos on that I don't, just because like I enjoy playing with friends and even by myself, and like that doesn't make good video. Obviously streaming is different, like I don't mind streaming Lethal Company because it's just fun, but no, Lethal Company is definitely my favorite game at the moment. It's the only one that I genuinely like will play off stream, off camera, not making a video. If I'm just like bored, I'll just play Lethal Company. It's just a fun game for me.
I'm really happy that Zeker's got the popularity he deserves, because I used to play. Have you heard of another game he made called It Steals?
Oh yeah, I played that once. That game was great.
I first heard of Zeker's from It Steals, and it was a really unique like take on like a horror game and stuff, and now he finally has like the popularity I think that he really deserved.
Yeah, the formula just like that's what you just need was the formula. I just don't think about Lethal Company, it's so good too. It's just got a great Like, it's just so different from every other game. Like, it's like a horror game that's like also a scavenger hunt. That's also like, you know, obviously it's meant to be multiplayer. I play it solo because I'm a madman, but you know, and because I have no friends. But like, it's just got so much to it, and it's like for such a simple game, there's a ton. Like, it's kind of like the Minecraft syndrome, where it's like the game concept is super simple, and like the idea of like what it's gonna like what you're going into is basic, but actually experiencing it is completely different to like what it just like. Yeah, if you were to write on a piece of paper like the basic summary of like a company and give it to someone, they're gonna think, oh, this is the game, but then when they actually play it, it's a whole different experience.
Yeah. I also, what's your favorite hobby?
Well, outside of YouTube, which isn't really a hobby anymore, it's kind of a job. I'm a musician. I do a lot of like music outside. I actually went to university to study music before doing YouTube. I know, life really turned out the way it meant to. But music's the one thing that I have done. It was my original ambition to become a musician, so it's now become a hobby. But yeah, I do really like playing music. You know, if I'm waiting for a video to render, or like, you know, I'm stuck on a part, or like I need a bit of inspiration, or I need to like sit down for a minute, I just like I'll play some piano, play some guitar. You know, I would play drums, but unfortunately where I live doesn't allow drums. I've got a like 85-year-old like neighbor who would probably like kill me if I got a drum set, so I can't do that yet. But yeah, music's probably the one thing that I do in my free time. Like I write songs, I play music, I mess around with certain things, just gets the creative mind going. And obviously it keeps the brain sharp because you have to, you know, use your brain to play music. So that's probably the main hobby. Other thing I do in my free time is another hobby that I've gotten into really recently is chess. I've been playing a lot of chess, especially with my partner. I've been teaching her how to play chess, and she may hate me for it because I always beat her, but yeah, it's fun.
I play chess occasionally. I usually just play with the bots, but I play chess sometimes.
It is a fun game.
It's a classic. Alright, have you almost like quit like decided I'm never gonna do any more FNAF challenges, or I'm not gonna do YouTube anymore or anything like that?
Probably like my first. So this wasn't my first channel. I had a channel called just Jerakai, which didn't do well at all. That was back when I didn't take YouTube really seriously. Like, well, I acted like I did, but in reality I didn't. And my channel got like hacked, and YouTube basically said, you only had like 30 subscribers. We're not going to revive your channel for you, which it's just lost. So that was a bit of a bummer. Well, in hindsight, it's not anymore. But that was I was pretty close to quitting YouTube then, because I was kind of like, you know, I didn't think it was possible to, you know, I've spent so long grinding for 30 subscribers. I'm not going to be able to ever get like more than that ever again. Like that was my chance, and it ruined it. And then, you know, I actually used my brain and went, oh, that was actually a really bad attempt at YouTube. Maybe a fresh start will actually benefit me and get me like, you know, the success I've been looking for through the second channel. And at the time, because obviously all my friends were telling me, don't call yourself Jerakai, call yourself Jerakaigamez, it's better. And so I went, screw it, and I called the channel Jerakaigamez. And, you know, obviously it all worked out, but that was really the closest I've ever been to quitting YouTube, was doing that, at that point, it was just like, do I really want to, like, continue doing it? At the time, I wasn't doing FNAF content. Like, I always wanted to do it, but, like, obviously, it was kind of like a niche that I didn't think I would, like, fit very well into. But eventually, it ended up going into it. I'm probably saying me wanting to leave Five Nights at Freddy's is more a possible future, but it's not something that I'm, obviously I like the series, so it's not like, unless like the series became like completely controversial for the sake of being controversial, which it's starting to become, to be completely honest, but like even then, like it's not a game changer for me. If I find no value in the content, if I don't enjoy like making the content or whatever, I might change. But at the moment, I'm pretty happy, and I haven't really had any plans on quitting YouTube, at least not yet.
I guess the next question, too. What is your worst fail in any challenge you've done?
I was pretty bummed no mask was impossible, but at the same time, that was kind of like me being a bit of a what's the word? Like a bit of a competitive sport, just for the sake of when I floated the idea of no mask, like Bones reached out and was like, "Hey, this isn't gonna be possible," and I was like, "What do you mean it's gonna be impossible?" And he sent me like all this code, and I looked at the code and I went, "Ooh, you know what? Maybe it is possible." So I decided to just, I was like, yes, let's do it. Like, let's prove Bones wrong. That'd be the perfect, that would be the most amazing, video. Me going, the Bones 5 said that this was going to be impossible, but I proved him wrong. He's not as smart as he thinks, and then he ended up being right, and I was very depressed. But, besides that, I guess the biggest fail on YouTube, like for a challenge, that would be the biggest fail I've ever done. I've had some big videos planned that just never came to fruition, or like I gave up on, mainly just systems crashing and me just like not really thinking the idea was good enough, or me having an idea that I thought was really good but it didn't do very well. That's more like old YouTube stuff where like I spent like upwards of 6 months working on videos, and then like, they would just flop. But otherwise, yeah, I'll probably say the no mask was a big hit to the ego. Had to be checked a little bit, put in my place. But yeah, I'd probably say that's sort of the biggest challenge that I've ever lost.
Yeah, I found that video. I was like halfway into the video, and I sent it to Bones, and this is the response.
Absolutely roasted. It made no sense. Oh my god. Look. I'll say though, I know that Bones loves FNAF 2, and I know that he is such a god pro at it, but I hate it. I think it's one of the worst ones. So for me, I'd never done -7. I'd never done anything. I was just thinking, oh, maybe it's possible. I knew that balloon was going to be the biggest issue. I knew that was going to be a humongous problem, but I was like, maybe I could it was just a lot of trial and error. I've never actually looked at the code as he has. Not saying that he's got a massive advantage over me, even though he totally does. But yeah, it's not really a game that I'm I've never claimed to be technical at these games. That's probably my biggest weakness with a lot of these challenges, is me being I'm gonna do these challenges, but I know nothing about how the games work. So, I know how FNAF 1 works. That's a game that I've broken to death, but the rest of them I don't really understand as in depth as that game. I have ideas, but I'm not an expert at it all. But That's still so funny.
Yeah. More of a random question. Do you have siblings?
No, I'm an only child.
Yeah, the reason I kind of had to do it at like 2:30, or the reason I asked for it to be at like 2:30 is because usually they go into my siblings go into their rooms at 2:30, and I'm not
Oh,
trying to sound mean, but they are really loud.
no, I've never ever had that issue because obviously only child.
A little bit of a random question. Where did your OC come from?
I'm having a moment. OC stands for again. It's a
Original character.
oh yeah my my character, yes. I don't really know. I guess like I've always I'm trying to actually think where it would have come from. I guess it was a combination. Oh, actually, you know, I just remember where it came from. So, I like obviously being a musician, I used to play in bands all the time, and so me and my high school friends were like, we're gonna play, you know, in bands, and it's gonna be, you know, we're gonna have like these, like we were inspired by bands like, you know, Hollywood Undead, Slipknot, like, you know, bands that wear masks and do all these outfits, and, you know, Kiss, like they put on these massive things on, and so we were thinking of like, you know, basically we just thought of like, you know, what could be cool, you know, outfits for all of us to wear, and like what would be cool mask ideas for all of us. So I liked like the idea of wearing a gas mask. I always thought that was really cool, but obviously I don't like the, you know, my mask is based off like a paint mask that you wear like when you're spray painting. So that's where that came from, and then, you know, I guess the suit and top hat idea was just always like a generic, like, that's an easy way to like have it fit in, like, just because I wanted to be like the classy one of the group. So I had like a top hat and suit that I used to wear when I would play music, and the entire joke was that, like, you know, we're like a metal band, but I'm the bass player, so like I'm like, you know, no one can hear me, so like I might as well like just sit there and like look cool, because like why not? Obviously that band didn't succeed at all, but then I just like kind of had the drawings of the character, and I just like thought, okay, I need like a profile picture for like my YouTube. I need like something, and then like obviously in the beginning it was I made it on a Minecraft skin, so like, you know, I made the character on the Minecraft skin, and then it was kind of like, well, I might as well just like turn that into like an actual drawing of me. But yeah, I'd say it just came from like a character from a band that I was in, where I was just gonna be like a guy wearing like, you know, it was gonna be originally sunglasses. I was gonna wear like sunglasses as well, so you couldn't see my eyes. But then I saw Rambo, and I went like, okay, it's gonna be a bit too on the nose. I need to think of a way to like change it up a little bit. So yeah, I guess that's where the character came from.
I don't think I even have an original character. I have like a few Roblox characters that I switch between a lot. I don't have one that I just stay as, but yeah, I don't know. What is the challenge that took you the least amount of time not in your opinion. What is the challenge that took you the least amount of time?
Well, probably the No Springtrap one. Oh, actually, no, the No Repairs was actually quite... doing Junior's No Repairs was actually... Oh, actually, which one was harder? Was it No Springtrap or No Repairs? Both of those were the easiest ones. Both took me about... No, No Spring... Like, the No Springtrap challenge took the least amount of time. I just, like, took into account how long it took. The No Springtrap one probably took me, like, an hour. to beat. While the other ones take me at least like, the Genius was like 2 hours, Bliss Attraction was 3 hours, Mask was like 18 hours, Doors was again like 12 hours. But yeah, all the challenges I've done, I'd say that would be the No Springtrap one would be one of the ones that took me the least amount of time, just because I'm like that'd be a topic I'd be really curious to talk about with Bones is FNAF 3, because I think Five Nights at Freddy's 3 is one of the games that I've never had an issue with Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Like, everyone, like, I know it's very RNG based, and I know it's very hard for some people. I know, like, it's so tricky. And the truck going outside. Yeah, I know, like, there's a lot of RNG to it, but I've never struggled with it. I've always managed to beat it. Like, I've always managed to one-shot it. I've always managed to, like, outwit Springtrap. I've never, ever had issues with him. I don't know why. But that'd be an interesting topic if I ever, like, decided to, like, debate with Bones on, like, the... like ranking all the Five Nights at Freddy's games from like worst to best. I'm sure that would be the game that would have like the most differing opinions on. But yeah, I'd say that's the challenge that I've would say the easiest. I've never ever struggled with Five Nights at Freddy's 3, and that challenge was the hardest part of that entire challenge was coming up with the idea.
I don't know what the easiest one I've done was. Yeah, I don't know. What is your least favorite, like, non-FNAF game that you played?
Like, my least favorite game, like, in general?
Yeah.
Ooh. That's hard. That's really hard. I mean, normally if it's a game, like most games, I just don't like. I don't if I know, like, I'm pretty good at telling if I'm going to like a game or not. But let me think. Maybe I'll have a look through my Steam, see if I can find a game. Least favorite game. God. I mean, I can think of maybe a couple of Mario games I used to play back in the day, but even then, I don't think there's any games I didn't enjoy. I think if I can think of a game, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of, like, I know Roblox isn't like a good game to pick. I've just never enjoyed it. That's one I would say I would pick would be Roblox, but even then that's kind of just like a generic, like a bunch of games in a game, so I just haven't played the right games. But if I had to think of a game that like should be fun but isn't, I don't know why. I really don't know why I didn't enjoy it, but I hate Dead by Daylight. I've tried to play it multiple times with friends, and like I've played it like some really, really, really funny friends, and like fully like I've just never gotten into it. I just have always had a bad time with it. I don't like. It's not for me. It's just like the worst feeling a game can give me is just nothing. Like just the feeling of nothing. And that's why I hate Five Nights at Freddy's 2 more than Sister Location, is because like Five Nights at Freddy's 2 just for me is like just the most boring experience. Like there's nothing really going on. At least like, well, it's the same loop over and over again, which just makes me just feel numb and boring. But Sister Location at least like will piss me off, which like, you know, that's still getting me to react, which I think is way which is way better than just feeling nothing. And Dead by Daylight for me was the game that just made me feel like absolutely nothing. If I had to pick a game, it'd probably be that, or like an old Mario game or something like that I used to play when I was a kid. I couldn't name the game, which I guess that's really it. Like if I don't like a game, I just forget about it. Like I forget the game exists. it's very hard for me to like remember a game that I didn't like. But I mean, unless the game is a Final Freddy's game, because that's kind of my job is to like remember all the different games. I can't be like Final Freddy's 2. What's that game? Never heard of it before. Um, but yeah, I'll say Dead by Daylight.
I guess that was it